Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. We've had a long week because we've had some sickness, but we are taking some library books back today, so I wanted to do a video about the review of them. We have a lot more library books than this. We have 3 bags full down here. So we read a lot of books. I just tell you our favorites, or if I find one that's like specifically, we thought this would be good, but avoid it, I'll tell you those. I don't have any of those today, but those are the types of videos I do, not every book we read. So anyway, first we did a couple books this week that were true stories, and I really like books that are based on true stories because it helps history come alive for kids. So the first book is John and Tom by Willem Lang, and it's based on true stories. Like this series is the Family Heritage series, and it's true stories about real American families. And so this one is about John and his horse Tom. I think I have that right. Maybe I have them backwards. But anyway, he goes out in the woods with his horse, and his horse ends up saving his life. It's just interesting to see real life stories and beautiful pictures in this book. Emma and the Silk Train by Julie Lawson is based on actual silk trains that used to run through the country. They had to go really fast, one, so people didn't steal them, and also because they didn't want the silk to get ruined and things like that. And this is about an actual derailment that happened long time ago. I forget what year, but it happened a long time ago, and it's a true story, based on a true story. A Year on Monhegan Island. If you're from Maine, this is really interesting. Julia Dean, she went and lived on Monhegan Island for an entire year, and in winter there's only 78 people on the island, and in the summer they get hundreds of people with tourists and stuff coming. People will come just for a week to stay in one of the things, or they have summer people that will come and open up their homes. But it was just interesting to see how island life worked. They didn't have regular electricity to the island or regular telephone service when most of the country did, and so just seeing how they did things differently. Also, one thing we found interesting was their post office and store. So this was written in the late 90s, but their post office and store were only open 3 days a week. I could be wrong. This could be mid 80s. We read a lot of books this week, but end of the 1900s. They were only open 3 days a week after the mailboat came in with the grocery supplies on it too. So in the winter, you had those days to go get your stuff. Very interesting way to live. This is the last true story book, I think. Oh no, I have 2 more. 1 more. This one is Franklin and Winston. So Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill, and a year that Churchill came to the United States over Christmas for multiple weeks, when they were talking about how to go about the war, how they were going to work together to do the war. And they became really good friends, and it tells stories. Just a what's it called? Warning on this book. There is one page where Winston Churchill is not in a whole lot of clothes. Important parts are covered, but depending on your family standard of modesty, there's one page that you may want to cover. But the book itself is very interesting. I didn't know that page was in there till I was reading the book, and we just covered it up. And this is the story of Little Black Dog. It's just a cute little story about this puppy who needed a home and how he came to love being on a schooner boat, which is another part of Maine history. So it was an interesting book, but again, based on a true story. Okay, a couple books that we just really enjoyed this week. Sam the Minuteman by Nathaniel Benchley is a historical fiction book, but sorry, we've had a cold. You hear all the coughing in the back. This book has something that even our oldest Nathaniel read. He's now 27. It's just a very old fashioned book, but easy reader. So whatever reading this level would be. I don't do a regular reading program for my kids, so I don't know, like, okay, this is exactly what 2nd grade would be, but it's an I can read book. My kids really liked it. Uriah was reading that this week. This one we accidentally picked up this week, and it is now one of the family favorites. It's called Something Might Happen. It's about this little lemur named Twitchley Fidget, and he's very scared of everything. I don't want to ruin the book, but the start of the book is he's scared of his shampoo because if he washes his hair, he might get bubbles in his eyes, and then he won't be able to see, and the crows might come and nest in his hair, and bad things could happen. And he's worried about bad things happening. They don't go into bad real life experiences that could happen, because there are actually things in this world that are scary and are supposed to be scary. This is talking about not wanting to try new things because they might be scary. But we really enjoyed this book. The kids read it most days since we got it. Last Stop on Market Street. Why did I pick this one? I liked this book, but I don't remember why.
We go to a homeless shelter.
Oh, that's right. Okay. This little boy is with his grandma, and they don't have a whole lot. And he kind of asks why different people do things differently than he does, and come to appreciate the people that are around them. And they end up going to a soup kitchen and helping out. And he doesn't understand why he does that, and his friends don't. But when he gets there, he remembers why he enjoys those relationships he has with those people. So it's just a really cute book about serving others and looking at the world in a different way. Not what we can get out of it, but how we can interact with those around us and give to them. So Cock-a-Doodle Who was another one we accidentally grabbed. I think Abigail might have grabbed this one. But it's about this rooster who comes onto the farm, kind of takes over, and the farm animals don't like it. So they do their own thing to confuse the rooster, and he decides he needs a vacation, and he leaves the farm, and he doesn't bother them anymore. But it's very cute, and it goes through all the animal noises. So Uriah is really liking that this week because he's 2.
Uriah?
Sorry. Uriah, come here. Right. This guy is not 2.
You're the biggest 2-year-old we've ever had.
This is the 6-year-old. The 2-year-old is in the other room with his sister because he's a little cryy today because of the cold. Okay, ready? Last thing. These books. The red book. Okay, you can go off. Go again there. The red book, Red Again, and Rainstorm are all the same author. You don't have to read these together, but these two, I don't want to ruin it, but these two go together, but you can read them separately. It's fine. All of these books by Barbara Lehman, Lehman, are without any words, but explain in very simple cartoon pictures what's going on. I'm going to just show you one page so we don't ruin the whole book. But the kids are flying kites, and then they're building sandcastle, and you can see that the sun's going down. He's pointing to that. Each of these books are just really good for, like, I'd say the 4 to 8-year-old crew, of just being able to look and see what's happening in the pictures and kind of tell a story of what they think is happening. But these are all really cool. I don't know if this author has written more books, and if they're any good, but these ones, we appreciated all of these. So there we go. That's our review of books this week. We're going to the library. I'm going to go in because I'm not coughing like these guys and wear a mask, but we need some new books because we've read these ones. We will see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God.